Hello, everyone. Thank you all so much for coming out this evening. My name is Ava Wharton, and I'm one of the 6 apprentices here with The Beautiful Project. For those of you who do not know, The Beautiful Project offers an arts-based cultural activism apprenticeship for Black youth. We recently had the opportunity to launch a campaign in exploration of some of the diverse and often overlooked narratives of our community. We recently set out on a mission to create a campaign in exploration of personal freedom among Black youth. From that mission, Our Need to Dream was born. Our Need to Dream is a short film which, as I said, explores personal freedom in Black youth. We wanted a way to diversify the narratives that exist in our community by promoting representational justice as well as healing. Linked below, we have a discussion guide that you can check out, which has resources and prompts that you can interact with as a way to further explore some of the themes that we present within our campaign. Now, if you would like to learn more about The Beautiful Project, please check out thebeautifulproject.org. But for now, sit back, relax, and please enjoy the film. Thank you all so much for coming.
I found you, with braids in your hair, deep brown glistening eyes holding secrets you bear like the chains we threw off and into the bottomless ocean. I found you, with sunlight in your face, the whole world on your shoulders, and the stars keeping pace with your breath as you willed your life into shape, and still managed to come up for air. I found you, drifting in the sea, untethered and filled with infinite possibility. With wonder I asked, Black girl, who made you free? You smiled softly, and then you said me.
Camera is rolling. Quiet on set.
My name is Shayla. I'm 18. I go by her, she, her.
My name is Sarah Elliott. I'm 18 years old and my pronouns are she, her.
A recent memory that made me smile was thinking of my grandpa's shop. He used to own, when he was here, like a salon shop kind of thing. And as a child with my cousins, we would go over there and it'd just be a good time. He's just a really home funny guy, so I think of that, I smile.
Yesterday after school, I went to a park with my friends and we had a picnic, and the weather was really nice and we were just listening to music and hanging out, and it was really fun. Some nice vibes.
Are you kind of feeling that same energy today? Why or why not?
Yes and no. Yes, because I'm here in the moment and I feel like this is an opportunity that anyone would love to take. So I'm seizing that moment for myself, so yes. No, at the same time, because, sometimes you just have off days. It's just kind of how you react to those days or those moments.
I would say yes, because I was just really excited to come here, and the day is nice and I've met so many wonderful people already, so it's gonna be a good day.
What is something that you need right now or want more of today?
I would just say interaction with other people.
Music.
Especially after COVID, I haven't met new people in such a long time, so even just to meet the people who are working on this project is making my day great.
I feel like it's really good to incorporate different genres of music, different artists into your everyday routine. It's a way to uplift the spirit. So the 3 things that would be on my bucket list would be to travel, to create a mental routine for myself, and to also write more.
3 things that are on my bucket list would be to show my art in a gallery, travel to someplace tropical with my friends, and this is not a very exciting bucket list thing, but meditate more. That's something I want to get in the habit of doing.
One thing that we do here at The Beautiful Project is take a moment of meaning. It's a moment that kind of allows us to center ourselves and really connect with where we are in the space and really just take time to be present. So, if you wouldn't mind, we're going to close our eyes and take one moment to just feel present and centered.
Someone who embodies freedom to me is my English teacher, Nina Foster. She's an artist, and we're interested in a lot of the same things, but she's the first Black female teacher that I've ever had, and so she's had a huge impact on my life. And being able to see how she creates her classroom space and highlights a lot of other Black artists, and just the way that she structures her classroom, I see a lot of freedom in, and I go to her galleries outside of school and see the work that she's doing, and I'm really inspired by that.
Someone that embodies freedom for me, it would be my aunt, just because of how she goes on with her day-to-day life. She does multiple projects, multiple jobs. She owns a balloon decor company. While handling all of these projects and all of the mishaps that happen in her life, she still has mental freedom.
There's so many ways that has had an impact on me, but I guess just the content of the class is a lot more centered on Black artists, which is something I've never had before, and so that has enriched me so much, and also the work that I do. And it's just really awesome to sort of move away from all the basic ways that we learn about like Black people. It's a lot more nuanced, and I get a lot more out of it, and it creates for really interesting and like meaningful conversations in my classroom, which I really appreciate.
A trait that she has that I'm working towards that brings her freedom is perseverance. Sometimes I can be a little down, or my anxiety might stop me from reaching the goals that I want to reach. You know, sometimes your mental self can be your biggest enemy. So I feel like with her having mental freedom and her being perseverant and persistent in what she does, it helps her reach a certain freedom that she has mentally.
One trait that I see in my teacher is that she takes time for herself, even though she is a teacher and she's sort of trying to navigate this school system thing. She's an artist, and being a teacher isn't her whole life, and not every day is a perfect day. And so we take the first 2 minutes of each class to meditate, which I know helps her. It helps all of us in class. And she structures her class based on what she's feeling that day, which I really admire. And I want to be able to have that sort of freedom and control over my own day-to-day life.
Those traits that she has, if I did carry them myself, I feel like a lot of opportunities that I had before would be taken advantage of correctly. And I also feel like if I had those traits, I would possibly be quite a stronger person than I am today. I had an opportunity to do a TED Talk, and for Athens Drive High School, a school that's kind of near my area. And the TED Talk was just about being young and being organized and knowing what you want to do with yourself and your future. And while I was giving my presentation, I was really nervous. I was my own enemy. I was putting thoughts into my head that no one was thinking of or no one was saying, you know, and I was my worst enemy that day. So I feel like my presentation could have been more organized, you know, more self-confident, and it would have opened up different doors.
What does personal freedom look like to you?
That is such a hard question. Personal freedom to me is having time to just be and sort of experience life without trying to figure everything out, I think. Trying to let go of some control and just have experiences with other people, be able to be more free in like the art that I produce, and get out of my own head. That's really freedom to me, is like not worrying so much.
Personal freedom looks like to me is someone moving and doing and saying what they feel like they should. So not what society wants them to say or do, or what their friends want them to say or do, or their family, their mom, you know. They're really being true to themselves. So really individuality, a lot of us, we base our decisions based off of what others want us to do. So I feel like freedom to me for a person and for myself would be being who you are.
Well, throughout this year, the school year, like I've been trying to bring this freedom into my own life by reading more. Like in the morning, I have some books on meditation and just some like fictional books that actually my English teacher gifted me. And I try and read for just like at least 30 minutes if I can. That just centers me, and like listening to music helps me focus.
The freedom that I envision for myself is just being mentally free from worry, anxiety, stress, me being happy in myself all the time, feeling 100% all the time, being able to put energy into things. That's that for me. I feel like also doing the projects that I hide, like the music and whatnot, if I could bring that out into the open, I feel like that would be freedom for myself, expressing myself certain ways. I feel like it's definitely attainable with the right motivation behind it, the right people, the right environment. And I feel like the only thing that's stopping me right now from attaining that is myself. Sometimes I will distract myself with other issues or other so-called problems that really aren't problems or aren't as big as I at the time thought it was or would be. So I feel like once I, take a deep breath, sit back and, rethink issues and whatnot, they're really not as big as I thought it was. So it's a control thing. So when things are out of control, or I feel like it's out of control, I make them more out of control with the thoughts that I have. But, if I take a step back and I really think about it and I bring myself, my mental self into control, things aren't out of control. It's a mental block, I could say. If I did not have those confinements, I would be more out and open.
Some ways that I see people trying to limit my freedom, it's definitely a lot in my school setting, which is unfortunate because that's where I spend the majority of my time, but I do go to a PWI, and so that has a whole other set of setbacks, to be honest. I just find that a lot of my classmates and unfortunately a lot of my teachers have a lot of stereotypes in their heads, and like they go about things in the wrong way. And so I've had to go up against a lot of that, which gets in the way of my freedom and just feeling comfortable at school, because then I'm like on guard and I always have to like be on defense, which is not how I want to walk through the world. But I would say I try and challenge that when I can, which is difficult, but definitely worth it, because otherwise I'm just letting them take that power away from me.
Some of the ways that others can try to limit our freedom is by silencing us, setting us to certain standards and expectations. There are a lot of ways that others can judge us, but we just have to know and understand who we are as individuals and not let that affect us.
A way that my life would be different if I was truly free would be me being able to completely let my guard down, which I guess, like talking about school, I'm not really able to do that yet, where I can just like walk into a room or a setting and first of all not be defined by my race. That would be really awesome, and just be able to be me and not worry about what people might say or might do that is not okay, which is not something I have right now, but I'm working towards that. It's sort of out of my control, but I don't know.
My life would look different if I was free. I feel like the pressure to look a certain way or act a certain way, especially as a young Black woman, started pretty young. Going into elementary school, then going to a PWI middle school and PWI high school, people want you to look a certain way to their expectations. As in like doing my hair would be different. Growing up from elementary school to middle school, I had relaxed hair. I was constantly straightening my hair. I was constantly adding to my hair and adding to myself and how I looked and how I talked. And then in middle school, People used to say that I talked a certain way, or I would not talk my race or act my race. And those are just kind of some of the few confinements that just come along with being Black and being who I am as a female.
Definitely a tool that I'm trying to use more to cope with these sorts of situations is setting boundaries, because I do tend to give a lot of myself to activism and trying to help other people and stand up for myself. And that means that I'm talking to administrators a lot, and that can be really stressful. And so being able to just say, like, I can't talk about this right now, or like, I just need a day where like I'm not trying to take on everything, has really helped me. Just trying to find a balance between it has really helped.
Ways that we can create freedom for ourselves is being ourselves. Freedom is hard to obtain only because of the world that we live in. So why not create freedom for yourself mentally? Just keeping yourself self-care, self-love, love for your family, love for others, just unity all together. That can create a space where we can feel free.
Ways that I have that freedom right now are through my art. I write poetry and I paint, and all of that is really grounded in my experiences and aspirations, and so I'm able to just let go and put everything on the page, which helps me process things that I've experienced, but then also sort of move past them and dream for the future.
We create our freedom, we create our environment. It's a mental state. Obtaining freedom is something that we're all going to have to work towards as people. It's something together in our communities that we're going to have to try to obtain. It's not a one-day thing or a 15-minute process. It's going to take some years to come.